Welcome back to part 2 of my Green Island trip. This one is at Shilang Beach, my scuba diving adventure. Here I am in the shallow water, just getting used to the water and the equipment. And it wasn't too long after we started that the instructor took me down to this little spot to see this guy. Apparently he is out there fairly often in the early mornings, but as the day goes on, your chances of seeing him are less and less. And I use him and he without really knowing if it's a boy or girl, but that's okay. I digress. So anyway, he was sick of the camera in his face, so he took off, and I of course had to follow suit. And it was a pretty cool experience, must say. I can't say I've ever swum with a sea turtle before, as this was my first time scuba diving. Now, I'd always thought before that to go scuba diving, you needed to have a license and take the classes. But as I found out on this trip, as long as you go one-on-one with a diving instructor, you can go scuba diving with no prior experience. Just fill out the medical form saying, of course, you have no medical issues that would prevent you from going. Why would you ever admit to that? And I mean, this water was not too deep overall in the first place, so I never at any time felt uncomfortable. But again, I am fairly comfortable in the water to begin with. Now, as you may notice, there is no one else in the water besides the instructor. Part of that was my plan. I signed up for the 6 a.m. available slot, which was the earliest. I'm a bit of a morning person to begin with. And also being a 2-day trip, I didn't want to waste time during the day, and I figured it would not be very crowded. So here I am finding Nemo. But yeah, I thought this would be a good time to go. Having seen a lot of people at the beach the day before, I was glad, thinking I might have picked the right time slot. And sure enough, it says there's no one else around on the beach this time. Indeed, that was the right time. Riding by there on a scooter late in the day, I saw many more diving companies there, as there are a ton of diving companies and schools on Green Island. So plenty to choose from, plenty to check out. I went through Venus diving program, which is I found on Klook to get a discount on that trip. But yeah, plenty to choose from. A lot go to this beach, some go to other beaches, but you're going to basically see the same thing. So definitely a cool experience. I would highly recommend it if you are ever on Green Island or anywhere where scuba diving is an option. Definitely check it out. There's some feelings that I got here, seeing some things in the ocean that I would otherwise not have seen. Now here's an interesting spot. I was asked before I left if I would want to mail something from the bottom of the ocean, and I didn't quite, from my broken Chinese listening and the instructor's broken English explanation, didn't exactly understand what he was saying, so I just said, no, that's okay. But come to find out, there actually is a mailbox at the bottom of the ocean that a post carrier goes down there and collects the mail every week or two. So that is an option. You write on special postcards that the ink will not run away from. And yeah, you could mail. So I just took a letter out of the mailbox to reenact that action. But yeah, I can now say I've been to a post box on the bottom of the ocean. Now here I am in another photo spot, just seeing the fish. So you can see the mailbox behind me there. Pretty soon we will be taking off. The instructor does try to get me to do a handstand. I have never been one to be a gymnast, so those attempts were quite unsuccessful. But pretty soon here we'll be heading back up to the surface. And all in all, a good adventure. I would say I was down there for about an hour. It's a 2-hour block, but from going to the center, getting the instructions, going through the hand signals. As you see, I do a lot of the same hand signals. Those are just basically telling the instructor that I'm good, okay, no problem. Since the thumbs up actually means I want to go up, that's the wrong signal to give. But that's okay. All in all, a good time, and I would highly recommend checking this out. If you are on Green Island, like I said, Venus Diving School or Diving Center is the company I went through, and there is the failed headstand. Again, thanks for watching. I'm gonna head back up, and I'll see you in the next time. Of course, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. See you later.